Guys, it's Unique with UniqueTravels.tv, and I'm coming to you guys today to answer one of my subscribers' questions, Fiona, about doing wire transfers. What's the best way to get money home from here in China to the U.S.? So I actually tried several different ways. The first thing I did was I called my bank at home, which is Charles Schwab, and I asked them how much would they charge me to convert money over. Like if I just did a wire transfer from my bank straight to them, how much would they charge? They said there is no charge because they do not take Chinese dollars. They do not take RMB. So I kind of nixed that plan. Then I went to my bank here in China, which is ICBC, and I asked them, well, how much would it be for me to take out 500 USD? What would be the conversion rate? They told me it would be 6.83 on the dollar. So when I put it in my calculator, that's $30 per 500. All the banks here in China have rules against foreigners to where you only allowed to take out 500 USD a day. So I plan to save $1,000 a month, so that would have been $60 a month in US dollars that I would have to pay in conversion fees. And that's still not getting my money home. That's just me being able to take out 500 US dollars from the bank. So I didn't like that plan. I feel like it was too much money, and $60 over a year is hundreds of dollars, and I didn't want to, pay that. So then I was like, okay, well, let me call Charles Schwab back again, and I asked them, do they take Hong Kong dollar? They said yes, and they do not charge a fee at all to convert it over. So I was like, okay, great. So I went back to ICBC and I was like, well, how much is the conversion rate for me to take out 500 USD but in Hong Kong dollars, which is 3,800 Hong Kong dollars, give or take, equals 500 USD. And they said it was only 12 US dollars. So I thought that I was winning. I thought I had the best plan ever, and I really worked it out. I was like, 12, that's only $24 a month. That would be great, So I took out the 500 USD in Hong Kong dollars. I took out the 3,800, and I went to Hong Kong this past weekend to my bank. We have a location in Hong Kong, which is Charles Schwab. So I went to the Charles Schwab location in Hong Kong just to find out that they could not access my account. They said even though they are the exact same bank, they're not allowed to access foreign accounts. So I find this is a problem many foreigners have. My fellow coworker at my school, named Oliver, he has HSBC Bank from Britain. And they told him the same thing. They have HSBC locations here in China. And when he went there with his card to try to take out money, they said they could not access his account because it's an out-of-country account. So as you can see, China makes it very hard for you to get money out of the country, and it's because China has one of the strongest economies in the world, and they want you to make the money here and spend the money here. They don't want it to leave the country, so they make it very difficult. So it kind of irritated me because I called Charles Schwab beforehand, and they're the ones who told me they take Hong Kong dollar and I can go to Hong Kong and this, that, and third, for me to go to Hong Kong and it not to work. So that plan was out. So after numerous attempts, I went in the WeChat group and I basically explained the problems that I was having and got advice. And some people said they did different things. One girl, she takes the 500 in RMB out. So however much that is in RMB, it's like 3,000 or something. RMB equals 500 USD. And she goes to like a foreign exchange place, not the bank, but they have like foreign exchange locations, and she goes there, convert it over, because she says they have better rates than the bank. And then she has to go to a Western Union in Hong Kong, transfer the money over through Western Union, wire it home, and her dad goes and picks it up for her and then deposits it into her account. She says she left her bank card with her dad. As far as I know, most banks, you don't have to leave your bank card with anyone at home. All they need is your account number, and they can deposit the money in there for you. But I didn't want to do that either. So everyone else was like PayPal. PayPal was going to be my last resort because they said it charges almost $20 per 500. So that's like $40 a month. And when I add $40 a month for a whole year, that's hundreds of dollars. And I didn't want to do that either, but after doing numerous attempts and it not working out, I was like, well, PayPal seems to be the only way, because I didn't want to have all my money accumulate here in a Chinese bank and only being able to take out 500 USD a day, even in RMB rate. I would have to you know, if I waited to the end of my contract, I'll have to take out all that money and take numerous trips for weeks to get it all out, and then travel over the border with all that money, and then take it to my bank, and yada yada yada. It just seemed to be a lot. So I finally caved in and went with PayPal. So to do a PayPal, you need to have 2 accounts. You need to have a US PayPal, which is just, you know, the regular PayPal.com, and a Chinese PayPal, which is PayPal.cn, also known as the international PayPal. You have to have 2 different email addresses and everything. So I already had a US PayPal, which I never used, and then I set up a Chinese PayPal. I had to make a new email address and all that, you whoop-de-woo, to get it done. But I got it. I made this 2 accounts. I linked my Chinese Union Pay card to the Chinese PayPal, and I set up my Charles Schwab bank card with my US PayPal. I tried to do a wire transfer. It didn't work. I was like, why isn't it working? I know I have the money in my account. What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. So when it didn't work, I went to my bank. No, I first tried $500. It didn't work. So I was like, well, let me just try a lower amount, like $5, and see how that goes. So I tried $5. That worked. I didn't go through with the transaction. I canceled it. So I was like, well, let me try $10. That worked. I canceled that transaction, and I was like, okay, let me try $100. It didn't work. So I went back in the WeChat groups, and I told them I was having issues, and I talked to many people who also had ICBC, which is a bank here I have in China, and they said they didn't have an issue. They were able to send over thousands of dollars through PayPal, $1,000+ and never had an issue. So I couldn't figure out why I was having an issue. So they was like, well, maybe you need to have your account verified or something. So I went ahead and sent the $10 over just to see, well, maybe if they, you know, see that the money's in there, send over the $10 and yada, 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 it will work. So I waited for the money to hit my US PayPal. Then I transferred it over to my Charles Schwab card. Out of the $10, I got $9.31. So they basically charged me $69 to transfer it over to USD. 69 cents, I'm sorry, you guys, to transfer it over to USD. So I tried the $500 again. It didn't work. So I went to my bank and I was like, hey, it's not working. Can you guys tell me what's going on? Because when it said it was declined, it said that I need to contact my card issuer, and you guys are my bank, you guys are my card issuer, please fix it. They hooked me up with the lady who does internet banking, and she speaks pretty well English. And I stayed there for over 2 hours on Wednesday. This was 2 days ago. I stayed there over 2 hours trying to get it to work. Still didn't work. We couldn't figure it out. She was like, well, maybe I need to call PayPal and see if, you know, there's some type of authorization I need to do or what was going on. I'm sorry it's getting dark, you guys. It's sunny out here. I'm sitting on my porch. But, so after the 2 hours, I just went home and I was just very irritated. And I was like, why? You know, I feel like they're trying to keep my money here. You know, what is going on? So I went home and I waited, because when I Googled the PayPal number, it said it did not open till 5 a.m. Pacific time, I'm sorry. And so I waited till like 10 o'clock at night and I called them, just for them to tell me that this was not the right department. They needed to transfer me to the Chinese PayPal. I was like, okay. They transferred me to someone else who says the same thing. And I'm like, well, you guys just said that I need to be transferred to the Chinese PayPal. And they said this is the Chinese PayPal. And it turns out that it was not the Chinese PayPal, and that it's so dark. Okay. And that it was international PayPal, and they were like, this is international, we need to transfer you to the Chinese department, but I can't transfer you, but I can give you the number. So the lady gives me the number, and she tells me they're open from 9 to 5 Chinese time. And I'm like, oh my God, I waited till 9 o'clock at night to call you guys just for you to tell me I have to wait till tomorrow to call because I need to call Chinese time. So after I hung up with the lady, I was just like, well, let me just try the number and see. So I called the number. The number is disconnected. I'm like, what is going on? Like, is this a conspiracy against me? What is happening? So I go on Google and I'm like, what is the number to Chinese PayPal? I tried like 3 different numbers. They were all disconnected. Finally, I found the right number, and the automated system come up. And you know, usually if they're closed, they'll say, hey, we're closed, call back at this time, yada, yada, yada. They did have an English version, which was great. So I just pressed the number. I think it was number 3 for the English version. And I stayed on the phone just to see, because the lady obviously didn't know what she was talking about because she gave me the wrong number. So maybe she was looking at old information. I don't know. So I stayed on the phone just to see if they would be open, and they were. Someone came on after I pressed a zillion numbers, And the lady, or no, it was the guy, he was very helpful. Within 5 minutes, he figured out what the issue was. He said they needed to change the setting on my account. All he did was ask me where was I located. I said, I'm in Shenzhen, China. He's like, okay. And he stayed on the phone with me until it worked. Like in 5 minutes, I did a transaction again and it went through. I was so freaking happy, you guys. So when the money came to my US PayPal, it said it was $480 and some change. So they took out the $19 and some cents that they told me they would take out for the fee. And so I've successfully did my first wire transfer from China to the US, and I use PayPal. And like I said, if you want to do that, you just set up 2 PayPals, one for China, one for America, 2 different email addresses, 2 different card numbers, 2 different everything, and a Chinese number. They send you a text code, yada yada yada, and you're there. So for all those who want to do a wire transfer, or if you find a better way or a cheaper way, please let me know. Please leave a link or a description in the comment area, because right now I'll be paying $19 and some cents per 500 that I send over. I know that I've heard you can send more than 500, so the next time I'll try to just send the full 1,000. But again, it's going to charge me almost $40, $39 and some cents to do that. But that was the best way. So use PayPal, you guys. Maybe you'll have a US bank that takes Chinese dollar and you could just do a wire transfer straight from the bank. But my bank does not. So this was what I did and how it worked for me. But it's unique with UniqueTravels.tv, and I hope this is helpful. Like, subscribe, share, you guys. Thanks for watching.